to Air Forces, specifically the US Air Force, into Vietnam during the Vietnam War. And we've renamed it the 6 into 3. Normally, when an aircraft approaches a runway for landing, we use what's known as a 3-degree glide path. It's very steady. It means at 1,000 feet or 3 miles out, so 3 degrees. We're going to start this one with a 6 degrees, so that is twice as steep as that approach. It is a whole of a runway out of the flight deck, and it's amazingly fun to fly. Although I suspect everyone who's losing their seats at the back would say it's probably more fun down there. It keeps you out of that small arms fire for as long as you can, and at the last minute we convert it into a stable 3-degree approach. Now I said they were quiet, but those engines are about to get noisy because this is going to be a max effort landing. Just have a look at how short a distance this aircraft can stop in. That's pretty impressive, and that's what makes this aircraft so tactical. We can go throw it at the ground, we can land it on beaches, we can land it on coral, we can land it on the ice. Anywhere, with the possible exception of water, we can get this aircraft to it. So Kendall and his crew are now backing up right to the edge of the hard standing there, and the next thing will be a takeoff in the ground as well. This is particularly
It's all right. We'll come back. I don't think I'm just going to stand there quietly and wait for
Now we've got Herc 01 and 02 down here. February last year, and 04 was in November of last year. We had a few videos up here talking about our replacement technology for 150 days. We're getting super excited now. But I have to say there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
She's a funny outfit.
I'll be there.
Oh, I love because it looks like that.
That's coffee.
Okay, coming to your approach here.
So again, it will be left to right. And those of you who were at the lakefront last night, you will have seen that we had something special for you with that wonderful grey cloud behind. Hopefully people got some amazing photos because we used our flare buckets and the swim flares. We're going to do the same again today, but there will be slightly fewer today, just from the rear buckets. The nose bucket was used yesterday, so that's now out of action for the rest of the weekend. Now we use flares, as I mentioned before, as countermeasures. So there's electronic countermeasures, and then there's also chaff and flare. Chaff is basically like screwed up balls of aluminium tinfoil being thrown out the back of the aircraft, and that basically just confuses missile heat seekers and flares who are sort of okay, pitching up for the zoom climb. You're not coming out with flares. Keep me on my toes. No flares from today. I'll have to ask why that didn't happen. Just passed an inspection this morning. But that was the C-130, ladies and gents, 01 from number 40 Squadron at Ironton Airspace 05. Okay, so we've got obviously some aircraft to take off on the runway. That concludes the New Zealand Defence Force military portion of the show, but the military are not yet done. We're very lucky to have up here Grace and Lee Shannon Winston.
These are the blunters.
Welcome, Shannon.
Thank you so much, Kate, and good day, everybody. Hello, I am Innocent and you at Air Force. It is my pleasure to talk to you.
Only just was there.
Lucky? Some. 10 of them?
It's a great spot. Yeah, so
This morning we reached that queue.
And then, because not we would use it, but what I'll do is I'll give you my card, and then I'll connect you with the local.
But I want to tell you about the main features that make that a main aircraft fly. Technical Sergeant Michael Wright and Airman First Class Dan Kennedy. This highly experienced crew I mentioned has a combined total of over 16,000 flying hours of various airport aircraft. Start off on Monday, the crew will perform a high-speed task, and with the aircraft capable of accelerating 640 kilometers per hour, this task demonstrates the extremely powerful engines that make that success. So, ladies and gentlemen, the session is now approaching the right to left. Of a similar cargo carrying aircraft. Now, you just mentioned the head-up display in the glass cockpit. That's pretty flashy, isn't it? Not what you were used to in the aircraft? That's right, a very nice.
He went right over our house yesterday.
Powered by 4 Pratt F-117 engines. Each engine over 18,000 thrust. This amount of thrust allows the low master to over 7,000.
very generous.
It's easy to figure out how to put it back. It's picture perfect. It's like when this very, very same way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you want to go? Sorry, ask any questions.
Is je mogelijk genoeg Airbnb?
While we're waiting on the yaks and everything, like Jimmy, you had your very own yak, and your Yak 52 is actually performing here at Warbirds over Wanaka for 2024 ZKZAH Zar, which I thought was quite creative. So Zulu Alpha Hotel, tell us a wee bit about what it was like buying one of these. Why did you buy one? And what do they like to fly? They're pretty rugged.
Oh, they're great fun. Yeah, it was Brett Emily to mention that name again. He talked me into buying one. He took me for a ride one day, and that was it. So we went to Australia and bought one out of Australia. They're great fun. They're compressed air actually starts the engine, works the flaps, the brakes, the undercarriage. We've got to tell you a little story about Zara. It was Paul Hewitt now owns it. Ex-RZAF Skyhawk pilot, strike master as well. You may recall yesterday, those of you who were here, that two of the other fighter pilots, BJ Coppersmith, Gandalf, aka, and Mark Helliwell formed the heart in the sky. You'll see that again today. And through the middle of it flew my old aeroplane flown by Huggy Hewitt, top display pilot, who's a soloist. And I just said, well, trust Huggy to put the heart, the arrow through the heart. Well, we learned last night that Huggy's just got engaged to one of the most beautiful women you ever look at, so it's quite a timely thing. So again today, at the end of the display, or near the end, you'll see the Yak 10 will form a heart shape straight out ahead on 12 o'clock, and Huggy will dive through the middle in my old aeroplane. Flying it far better than I could ever dream of, Grody.
Oh, don't run yourself down like that, Jimmy. I've seen you fly. Always out of balance.
That's me, story of my life, mate.
The Yak 52, the very rugged primary trainer that was used in the Eastern Blocks. There are a couple of little idiosyncrasies. Got Jimmy, for instance, the undercarriage doesn't come all the way up. They are retracts. And tell us a wee bit about why that would be and why it's propeller designed the way it is.
Well, they're what they call a semi-retractable on your right, and the wheels fold up under the wings. So if a pilot's in a moment of distraction, forgets to put the undercar down, you won't destroy the aeroplane. You'll actually roll out on the undercarriage. You'll damage the prop. It's a wooden laminated prop, so you can actually file that back. And technically, if you get it on its legs again, you can fly it away. So they're interesting. Primary, ab initio, primary and paramilitary aeroplane, still used by some of the Russian air forces. 2 hours of fuel on board, 120 litres, so you can't fly very far in them. They made sure the airfields were sufficiently far away from the border so no one could defect. So great fun, plus minus the GPS ratings, plus 7 minus 5, so very, very tough.
Yoga.
Today there's a mix of GA pilots and military pilots flying them. As you saw before, the missing man breaking off the formation. We'll tell you more about the pilots when they come into before shortly. Meantime, I think we've got an errant, very, very well organised pilot getting ready to go something very special. This is as per, it's one of the actions coming out of the, as of pre-arranged. Nothing's wrong. This is Rob Fry. Bringing in the airband, it's an aeroplane which he now owns, which is formerly owned by Jurgis Kairos, hence the early arrival from the fly pass. And you'll see Jurgis doing something pretty special in this machine later on. He's a good friend of Grant's. Both pretty errant guys, a little bit agricultural the way they handle the aeroplane.
The old bold thing, Jimmy, we're both old and bold. Looking down the far end, folks, on grass runway 29 down to your right hand side, we see the little pit special of Ivan Kripner, a local pilot, multiple champion, based in Teano, and he's about to take off there. It hasn't blown a couple of rings. This is a smoke trail. Takes the little pits off. Ivan is an amazing pilot. Straight into a knife edge.
Crazy Kripner, but behind the craziness as a person, there's a lot of sophisticated decision making going on in that tiny wee cockpit.
He's a pretty accomplished guy, Ivan. He's great to talk to. He's represented New Zealand in a number of different disciplines, including motocross. He's an amazing bike rider. Up he goes, pulls the pits vertical there. And he went through he did his PPL at the Waikato Aero Club way back in 1989. Then he worked at Action Flight in Queenstown from 2008. We talked about Marco Sullivan earlier with that wonderful pit special that's got the 540 in it, the flat 6. Ivan did a lot of time in that. This little one here is a 160 horsepower horizontally opposed, flat 4. Slightly negative there, building up speed. And around. Funnily enough, Ivan doesn't like G-forces. He tries to steer well clear of them. The reason for that, he says, the more G you pull, the more speed you lose, the energy you lose. And aerobatics, look at that, is all about energy management.
Converted for this class. He holds multiple national aerobatic championship titles as Ivan, and he's performed in both Australia and China. So a well-known display pilot. Own and operate float planes out of Tiano with his wife Kylie, both CPLs.
Lovely stall turn there. So he worked at Classic Flights here in Wanaka in a Tiger Bomb 2009, and at Southern Lakes learned to fly here also in 2012. Through he comes, Ivan. So Jim just mentioning there the number of different awards that he has. 1991 he took out the Regional Open Aerobatic Champion Award, 91 also the Regional Intermediate Aerobatic Champion, 2010 the New Zealand Sportsman Aerobatic Champion, 2011 the New Zealand Champion of Champions, also New Zealand Unknown Champion, I must have known who he was, 2011 New Zealand Intermediate Aerobatic Champion, 2019 the South Island Advanced Champion, 2019 South Island Unknown Champion, 2019 also the South Island 4-minute free champion, and in 2022 the South Island 4-minute free champion. Very, very, very accomplished pilot.
He spent years practicing at this very airfield, people, dreaming perhaps one day if he was up to scratch, he'd be able to perform at Warbirds over Wanaka. Well, here he is, debut over the wonderful airfield we have in front of us.
So flying in his jeans, his mum was a PPL also. And Ferg, you'll attest to this, that Ivan's a very accomplished musician as well. Plays the drums, guitar and all sorts of instruments at the Wanaka Stars in Your Eyes. In fact, if you YouTube Ivan Kripner, you'll see a lot of stuff entertaining for these model aircraft flying. Ivan told me just the other day over a long black in the cafe here that a lot of the skills that he is using here flying, he practices with his models. Makes sense? One of the most uncomfortable positions of flight you can do is doing what he's doing right now. Flying out of balance. Your nose wants to go around and join your ear. It's very uncomfortable. Ivan and his wife Kylie purchased the Wings and Water company in Tiano, New Zealand flying Fjordland's only float plane, seaplane service that we have in South Westland. Sadly, most of the float planes have gone now. There used to be a multitude of them.
Number 3 rider, Faye Emily Brett's daughter, flying in number 2 slot, which is the second one in as you look at it. Tribute to her dad. Here's Zulu Alpha Hotel with Huggy again, former Skyhawk pilot, top aerobatic performer. You watch what he does when he gets to the top of the stall turn. He just sits it on the axis there, flies out a bit of snipe and fucking does a tumble, all perfectly controlled. Next in line is our blue team, which you look way out to your right, sort of mid-range. You've got the 4 yaks of the blue team coming in there, preparing themselves for what we call a caterpillar loop, which is really a trail, one behind the other. Although when you do a loop like that, you make sure that if you look at the one straight ahead, if you're following somebody, you don't get straight behind them. You're tucked in just on the edge of their smoke. Look at number 4 on that one. If he pulls up a matter of a couple of feet, he'll be in turbulence, he'll flip the aeroplane upside down. Could be in all sorts of trouble. So if you're tucked in you watch the 4 coming in from the right now. When they do a trail loop like this, each one is positioned slightly below the other, so they're just kissing that smoke at the top of their canopy. The outside guy's going to really dig it in because they're actually forming a bigger loop, appropriately named in this instance. All loved up, arrow through the heart, so that's pretty special. All 3 of those guys are former Strike Master Skyhawk pilots.
And yeah, that's what catches a lot of pilots out down here with the mountain flying, hence why we have a mountain flying rating now. If you're not used to flying in the mountains and you come down here, you can quite easily get yourself into a downdraft that could quite often exceed the climb capability of your aircraft, and the only way you're going is down. So, yeah, mountain flying is a particular skill, and sadly, it's came into play quite a few years ago now because of accidents that we had in the area. We've just got the old classics taken off here, folks. The Tiger Moths, Dipsy Moths, we've got the Wake Up Cabin Waco, and my Chipmunk. And what else we got down there? We got the Lockheed Electra 12, the Junior Electra, and a Beach Staggerwing, and let's not forget the Domini AKY, the NAC one. So yeah, pretty cool. Abby, what's the special thing about the glider that Doug Hamilton's flying today? It's an H25, so tell us what that means.
Yeah, so he's flying an AES H25 MI, sorry. No, I'm just used to saying that. We have a motor. He's flying an AES H25, and they're all made in Germany, all full carbon composites, and it's a 26-metre wingspan, so it's just a smidge smaller than a Boeing 737. Has incredible glide ratio. I'm not sure what your chippy is. It's just about to take off now.
Not much.
Yeah, so the glider is a 60 to 1 glide ratio. So for every 60 metres forward, you'll have 1 metre loss in altitude. So it really goes for the clappers.
When you're flying along, do you just let Rob Brook go past? He's also got Doug Hamilton on board, another Doug Hamilton. Rob's flying the Electra. And then we'll have some of the T6 Harvards taking off as well. So the glider is free.
So if you just gaze your attention to the right, you'll just see the Golf Tango Foxtrot, piloted by Doug Hamilton, is just released from the tow plane, which is piloted by Holly Little, another female who's come through the ranks through Youth Glide New Zealand and now got a commercial rating. So as Doug's making his way over, there's these last roars launch. He's a multi-talented aviator, flies gliders, helicopters, fixed wing, has his commercial license, he's an instructor, and we've got Holder against him, he's a CIA flight ops inspector. Argentina, which is a great feat. Says Golf Tango Foxtrot's making its way over. It's all nature powered and human fueled. It can take up to 2 pilots and have a max takeoff weight of 750 kgs, which I believe he has on board today. So this is water ballast being dropped from the wings, and a lot of the gliders carry water ballast, and if you can imagine chucking a feather into wind as opposed to a rock into wind, the rock will go further, so it just helps with the inertia and to glide further distance and help with that glide ratio. Silent flight's the way to go.
So what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to shut the music off, and if we can just maintain radio silence, folks, have a listen to this.
The sound of 250 kilometers an hour.
So beautifully graceful.
So if you've got little kids in the crowd or you're a big kid yourself, come check out gliding. You can get credits towards your high school diploma through gliding. And we have 13-year-olds soaring around the skies. I personally was 16 when I learned how to soar, and it's absolutely incredible.
And if we look left, we'll see the classics. Look at that. So we've got the de Havilland tiger moths. We've got a gypsy moth in there. And there goes a little DH1C chipmunk. And behind that, the Domini or Rapide. So we've got all the ones up front here, bar one. The tiger moths are powered by a 6.4 litre inverted 4-cylinder engine, 130 horsepower, ADT in the rear, the gypsy moth. That particular aircraft flew solo from London to Sydney in 1934. And the engine's up the right way there. And then you have my little pride and joy, Delta Uniform Charlie, or Chippy 17, which is part of the Fraser family, and I'm the keeper of the treasure there and do a number of hours in that, flown by Simon Spencer Bauer. And then the beautiful de Havilland Domini or Rapide, powered by the 2 inverted de Havilland Gypsy Queens or 6-cylinder engines there. Coming in from right, the Beach Staggerwing and the Cabin Waco. How beautiful is this? The Beach Staggerwing, way ahead of its time, and the little Waco there, beautiful.
Deco personified, Granny. Leather seats, smell of cigars, a bit of oil.
So just a little bit about Alpha Delta Tango, which is the gypsy moth I was talking about. So Jan is sitting in that, just at the back of the tiger moth formation there in front. Jan herself was introduced to the world of tiger moth flying 40 years ago, and has since then old British biplanes become a passion for Jan, which just hasn't been cured for her, and that's a good thing. So Jan in this weekend is flying Gypsy Moth ADT. It's originally GAAJO, the very same aircraft her father Stan White flew solo from London to Sydney in 1934. Imagine that, 110 horsepower, solo, London to Sydney, and amongst a little bit of aluminium, mostly wood and fabric. So we call these rag wings. So many years ago, Jan became curious as to the state and whereabouts of the aircraft and finally tracked it down to Lee Middleton, who then lived in Pukekohe. We'll just let you hear this. I'll just shut up and let you hear these beautiful aircraft. Hello, wee Chippy. So the little de Havilland chipmunk has just come off her annuals with Callum Smith and the wonderful team at 2024. Going like a wee demon. These were built to replace the tiger moths, originally from Canada, and then there was a license to build them also in the United Kingdom. This particular one is from the United Kingdom. It has the fish tank canopy on it. It's done around 14,500 hours. Coming in from stage right, folks, are the Beechcraft Staggerwing and the Cabin Waco. Staggerwing, the ultimate in retro transport. These could do around 150, 160 miles an hour. They've got a staggered wing. You can see the top wing is staggered back from the main plane, mainly for visibility. They have retractable gear, as you can see there, obviously, and the wing aids that as well, but it's mainly for visibility. Pete, welcome back. You know a little bit of history about this one here. It hasn't been long on our shores, this Electra.
No, and it's wonderful to see it here. That beautiful polished finish. Very, very Art Deco.
202 in total we had between 1941 and 1977. Smoke on pass. This is where we'll see number 5 break up for a wing over. Break away. So there's Frank Parker pulling out to the right. Pull up for what they call a Humpty Bump. He'll pull into a reverse half Cuban and an aileron roll. But this guy is the master. 50 years plus of flying the T6 Harvard. There'll be none better in the world in terms of experience. Flies the Fock Wolf out of Wanaka. He and his wife Liz own a P-40 Kitty Hawk. Characteristic slow of the Pratt Whitney 1340, 600 horsepower. The formation now to your right, people, they've changed to a line of stern and they'll complete a nice right wing over, and then an echelon left for what we call a Z loop. Frank has completed his little fling to the left. Listen to that noise. The engine and the propeller tips, of course, is right mentioned, just breaking the sound barrier. Here they come, line of stern, right wing over, pull up for what we call a Z loop, so keep an eye on it. Flying number 3 is Liz Needham, Harvard number 57. She's the only aviatrix in the world flying a Mark 14 Spitfire.
I do believe too, Jimmy, with Liz Needham, the Needham family, there's not one member of the Needham family that does not have a pilot's license. They all fly.
Liz formed the Yardball Flying School. She's more than 25,000 hours flying. She's been an airline captain, the same as husband Frank. So it's a wonderful husband-wife combination in this routine, people. A lot of experience. So I said, they've only just sold people P-40, haven't they? Which they owned for a number of years. Lovely barrel roll. Here's Frank. Stall turn to the left, you push forward and just take the aeroplane vertical. Stall turn to the left with a downwards roll through 90 degrees. Then he pulls up for what we call a half Cuban, which is half a loop, followed by a barrel roll. And then he will vacate to the right. 50 years plus behind the stick there, Granny. Not bad, is it?
He's pretty accomplished, and we've seen him here years gone by in the P-40 and also this year in the Corsair, Jimmy.
Frank's going through that four-ship. Gets themselves gathered up and they'll come in from behind the crowd and into the next manoeuvre. Meantime, it's all about Frank. Grant took us through a beautiful routine with the Tiger Moths, where you stepped out of one of those into one of these. And if you handle this pretty good, you walk into a Mustang or a Spitfire or a Hurricane. From behind, the four-ship comes from behind the crowd for what we call a diamond loop. For obvious reasons, it'll cross the line and turn right for a steep descending right turn. diamond shape. Number 4 sort of just tucked in behind that smoke, as mentioned earlier, avoiding any turbulence. Perfectly executed. Little throttle adjustment there, Granny. Sounds a bit like you, mate.
The big old 1340 radial, 600 horsepower, these machines, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. There we go, just turn. Here we'll flick back shortly for a nice big barrel roll along the crowd line. So, again, a nice big lens on the camera. Just keep an eye on this guy out to the right. Because you're looking at history, really. So a barrel roll essentially is a combination of a loop and an aileron roll. So you watch, he's pulling up as if into a loop, now he's putting some rudder on, roll inverted at the top, keep the manoeuvre held like that, over the top, on the downward side, straightening up again for a flight straight out of it. Meantime, you'll notice the foreship getting itself organised away to your 11 o'clock. Up we go. Now, the downward burst. This is the bit to watch. Look at the symmetry in that.
Pleasure this morning to display for Wanaka an example of every single one of our current operational fleet. It's amazing to have them here to show all those capabilities, and yet there's also this side, isn't there? Which is the heritage side, and you know why we are all here now.
Gorgeous. When you see something like this, as I mentioned Brenda did before, the work that's gone into this, Kate, it's quite interesting that the Mustang follows the Spitfire, because it was the Spitfire that gave its engine, if you like, to the Mustang to make it such a good performer. So if you're here from the UK today, put your hands up. We've got something to thank you for. You've turned the Mustang into a really nice aeroplane.
So there's a little bit of history behind the Air Force Heritage Flight. For many, many years, they were known as Historic Flight, and they were aircraft that were managed, maintained, engineered and flown by Air Force technicians and Air Force pilots. And then that came to a kind of a natural end about 3 years ago, and we moved into a model which we are showing for you today for Air Force Heritage Flight, which is an incredible partnership with the Biggin Hill Trust. They have given us so much, and we are exceedingly grateful to them for their beautiful, beautiful care of our heritage aircraft. And it's a wonderful partnership because our Air Force pilots still get to fly these aircraft and display them. So we've got Air Force pilots on board, and we've got Biggin Hill Trust who are taking care of them, maintaining them, and who now own these aircraft on the civil register.
Interesting, Kate, that Mustang, of course, only a matter of seeming months ago, it was a barn find aeroplane. We all knew about it, sitting up at Marpur covered in dust, and the way Brenda's got this thing flying is just tremendous. Original plane, original engine, original adopted country.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, John Smith obviously, you know, had the aircraft, and everyone knew it was there, like you said, but it wasn't doing anything, and there were lots of very interested parties, and ultimately Biggin Hill Trust managed to take ownership of the aircraft and brought it back to flying condition, which is what we want to see, don't we?
Brilliant.
And Honorary Wing Commander Brendan Deere, running Biggin Hill Trust. Okay, so that was a couple of passes from the P-51, and that's just to allow the Spitfire, who is now coming round the back of your right shoulder, ladies and gents, from over the top of the hills, and he'll come in and commence a solo display for us. Talking too much during Spitfire displays, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. This will be a wing over, and then another pass along the crowd line, belly up this time.
Spitfire coming at us from the 11 o'clock.
beautiful signature shape of those wings. You can see really well there in the belly pass. And Stu's now going to pitch up for a half Cuban maneuver. So this one's full pitch all the way over the top and then roll from the inverted position to the canopy up. Off at a right 45 angle and coming back for a second belly pass.
The initials on the side say it all. ALF, your Winco or more. I think you'll be able to put your name on the side of the Spitfire.
But this time you can actually see that full shape. And out of this one, there'll be a 270-degree descending turn for another low pass.
Speaking about Burma, it was ultimately in the museum at Megalodon Airfield, which is the very field that my father flew from for 681 RAF, flying a Mark 19 PRU Spitfire. So that Spitfire and this one, I got something in common.
That is a very cool footnote. I like that. At the end of this low pass, Stu's going to take the aircraft up for what's known as a Derry turn. It'll be off to the right to start off with and then reverse direction to the left. And then he'll come back for crowd center for a 360-degree orbit, or that maneuver that we often call the carousel. So great one for your cameras out there. While he's repositioning, I just wanted to share with you the mission of Air Force Heritage Flight, which is to preserve in flying condition aircraft that represent the Royal New Zealand Air Force's heritage and to commemorate the past, promote the RNZF by engaging, educating and inspiring the next generation. And I hope you all agree that these aircraft do exactly that.
Isn't it great to think that squadron leaders are flying these aircraft people, so they're well trained, well equipped, precise manoeuvres, what you see with their aerobatic manoeuvres there. And, it's wonderful to see. The Spitfire is a credit to the Deer family, the way they put this whole project together. If you were standing somewhere between Biggin Hill and the French coast in 1943-44, this is exactly what you'd see flying overhead. The same scheme, same noise. It's got a Rolls-Royce Merlin 70, which is around 1,700 horsepower, so it packs plenty of punch, a lot more than the early Mark 5s, Mark 4s.
I must admit to being pretty lucky enough to be from Kent, and when I go back home to see my family, I can just stand in their back garden and watch the Spitfires go overhead still. Actually from Headcorn. Yeah, they've got a Mark 9 at Headcorn out there. It's just a beautiful sight, a beautiful sound. I think we all recognise that amazing Rolls-Royce engine.
Evocative, it is.
Stunning, ladies and gents. Spitfire from the Air Force Heritage Flight and Biggin Hill Trust.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pacific Air Force's F-16 demonstration. I'm your narrator, Technical Sergeant Matthew Cronny, call sign Jaws, from the greatest city in the world, Los Angeles, California. As a member of the Pacific Air Force's 35th Fighter Wing, all the way from Misawa Air Base, Japan, it's my pleasure to describe for you today's flight demonstration by the world's greatest single-seat, single-engine, multi-role fighter, the F-16 Fighting Falcon. This Captain Smith returns to show center from the left. He will accelerate rapidly and snap the Fighting Falcon through 3 aileron rolls. right. Captain Smith is now repositioning and slowing the F-16 down in preparation for a slow speed pass. While a Viper can fly at more than twice the speed of sound, the slow speed control is just as important to those who fly. As Captain Smith passes show center, he will apply full afterburner and accelerate the aircraft into a near vertical climb. Ladies and gentlemen, get your cameras ready as Captain Smith prepares to demonstrate the combination of the F-16's exceptional thrust and flight control system to make the knife edge maneuver possible from your for a maximum performance climb with a series of aileron rolls. As he pulls back on the stick, you'll see the F-16's exceptional power and rolling capability as he climbs from 300 feet to more than 15,000 feet. Captain Smith is now repositioning his F-16 behind and to the right to set up for the dedication pass. Smith is now on his way back to Christchurch. As he approaches the runway there, he will decelerate to about 150 miles per hour. On behalf of the 35th Fighter Wing's Wild Weasels and the Commander of the Pacific Air Force, we thank you for being with us today.
Grant, thank you. Yeah, and teammate for the KC-135, it's the core air refueling capability of the United States Air Force. It's excelled in its role for more than 60 years. This unique asset enhances the Air Force's capability to accomplish its primary mission of global reach. It provides air refueling support to the Navy, Marine Corps, allies, and partners.
In 1993, he became the second gold medal recipient at the Breitling Masters, one bronze medal in the Su-31.
Reportedly the only guy to pull off the copper maneuver, Grady, isn't a piston engine aeroplane?
Correct. That's right. In 1996, a silver medal at the World Aerobatics Championships in Oklahoma City, USA. He then proceeded throughout his career. Here he is. I'll just let him come through. Lovely wave there from Jurgis. So he's coming around now for a lovely photo opportunity. Lovely inverted pass. So as Jim mentioned before, he flew under 33 bridges. Now, some of them were only 7 meters in height. Then he decided a couple of years later to go back and do them again inverted. Wheels down. What's going on here?
Taking it easy. Yeah. Hello, we're losing some power up there, Grady.
We need more runway than that.
Clear down.
Great. Oh, will we have it back tomorrow? Not sure. Down he goes. Jurgis Karas, ladies and gentlemen.
You never did anything by halves.
Oh, there he is. He's turned it back to both mags now.
Out of the weeds.
Round he comes.
He's about 5'8". He used to be 6'2", I believe, after the gym.
Undoubtedly one of the world's most accomplished aerobatic pilots. Lovely side slip.
Yeah. So he loves a bit of acknowledgement, so if you get near him, just give him a wave. If you want a t-shirt signed, can't guarantee what he's going to write on it, but it'll be interesting, whatever it is.
He's fantastic to talk to, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, so if you are down the flight line, check him out and have a good old yarn.
Just give Fergus a wave, will you? Get him out of our hair. Will you? You're Shane Van Gisberg. Well done, Ferg. There's a mosquito profile. Look at the shape of that. As Grant said before, de Havilland make beautiful aeroplanes. This one's wooden, of course. Give him a wave.
Hello, Fergus.
The quintessential air bandit. Don't get him too excited, or we'll never get rid of him.
What an amazing photo opportunity, ladies and gents. You don't often get to see these aircraft together. And we're so pleased to have been able to get both of the C-130s here for this display today. So the captain of the 757, Squad Leader Jimmy Davison, he'll be holding everything back so that the guys behind him can keep up. On board the 757, we've also got co-pilot, Flight Attendant Magnus Holding, and a Loadmaster, Squad Leader Reese Fenton today. Coming up now is what we're going to call the Thunder Break. So this is a good one for those of you out there with cameras. They're going to be running on to crowd center. Our two C-130s will break to each side, and the 7.5 is going to fly up and over the top of the crowd. He's promised me that he won't blow all our hats away with putting on full power, so it's only going to be about half power, which is still about 42,000 pounds of thrust, ladies and gents, so it might get a bit noisy. Okay, I'm just going to keep quiet and appreciate this amazing sight now of these aircraft flying towards us, ladies and gents. See, a break still looks awesome even if you don't have smoke. Round of applause for Thunder Formation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Since the inaugural 1988 show, bar one, the calling problem.
Anyway, so he was
warmly when he gets back on the ground, wipe away a few tears for him. The foundation deck as well, these are Warbirds.
owned by a former Australian fighter pilot, slave labor. So kind of calls our own.
If you're not on
The Americans are departing, folks. They'll be back shortly and we'll have a lot more from them. Let me tell you, the Patriots are in the house.
Grant will take you through their routine, people, but there's some serious American pedigree flying those four aircraft. Fighter pilots of another caliber. I'm not going to divulge any more information. We need to know what's going on, but it's going to be a great display. Graham Bethel brings the Mustang 2 from the left. Classic smooth tail low wheeler. Z2415. He will be performing in the finale tomorrow, and this is his last low-level full display at Warbirds over Wanaka.
Just a quick notice there, folks. Kerry Testament, your phone has been handed in at the information teams. Yeah, the main entrance.
No, I'm like on the other side.
Here's Frank, back in the skies, like the airplane after 7 years. The last GI
In an hour. Yeah.
These fantastic big airplanes in the Solomon Islands and Bougainville, Papua New Guinea. Espiritu Santo across Vanuatu. Some of the first air force in the world to use them before they actually went on the carriers. The Kiwis were flying big, bold, brassy, and deadly. Not unlike the two Trojans ahead of us now. T-28s. Frank's given it a workout. 2005 and 2020, thankfully, new owner Mike Jones acquired the aeroplane, and it was presented back in its colours, specific colours, registration UPZ5648. 2023, September 1, flown to the Kiwi home in Wanaka by legend Frank Parker, who has the controls right now, after several years of hibernation and litigation. This will be a surprise. RZF had 424 Corsairs in operation, equipping 13 squadrons. 16 squadrons of RZF Wanaka were the first to use them. Corsair
World War II, area of combat, I lost 189. Enemy ground and support aircraft flight 349, operational losses during combat, 202 operational losses during non-combat flight. Over the last year, we've training 250 and Warbirds, and short ships on the ground fire for 154. The Norway run was 11-1, so they lost 189 forces in combat, but they got 2,000. Again, with carrier capability, a Navy trainer above all else. In the early 50s, saw a bit of service in Vietnam, in operations ground attack. Look at this. I think that's the best wheel I've seen all day, and I've seen some beauty. I think so. Well done, Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, we present our visiting Yanks, the American Eagles flight demonstration team. These Yanks fly the L-39 Albatross, one of the most prolific and versatile military jet trainers known in the world. These Jets are often operated by Fighter Jets New Zealand, owner Craig Mosman, and the great Kiwi support team flying the NL39 with Fighter Jets New Zealand is the ultimate adrenaline rush. Check out their booth and chat with the pilots and maintainers that can make your dream of flying in a fighter aircraft come true. Ground attack Albatross is an aerobatic pilot's dream machine, as it is a true seat-of-the-pants aircraft without fly-by-wire or advanced digital flight controls. It's a field aircraft, the very best to teach young military pilots advanced handling and tactics in a reliable, sturdy airframe. The L39 is a plus 8 minus 2G aircraft with quick roll rates and 3,900-pound thrust engine that propels the aircraft up to speeds of 350 to 400 miles per hour. The L39 is truly a pilot's machine with gut responsiveness and an honest feel no matter what attitude pitch or roll the pilot throws at the aircraft. Today's demonstration is flown by 4 highly experienced pilots who've flown as part of the American Patriot jet team for over 18 years. Flying the lead American Eagle L39 is Wilbur Wright. The United States Airforce fighter pilot with 151 combat hours and 4,000 total fighter hours. He flew the A-2 Warthog during Operation Desert Storm with the F-117 stealth fighter during the Second Gulf War Operation Iraqi Freedom. Warbirds has had several unique assignments consisting of instructing Taiwanese pilots at the 1838B flying as an exchange pilot with Britain's Royal Air Force and the C-1 Hawk GR-7 carrier.
I was lucky enough to never fly this. It's amazing, these guys are 3 or 4 inch So we're nearing the end of the routine now. We've got 2 aircraft coming in from the right. 2 above the 29 threshold. Form up again, the final part of the routine.
This is the pass and review, ladies and gentlemen.
just behind you, people. Tells me they're going to reposition for a diamond pass before the diamond for obvious reasons. Look at the precision, the beer is just equidistant with their spacing.
They're going to come around, ladies and gentlemen, for the missing man salute. One of the most sacred formations flown by the American Eagles is the missing man, indicated for airmen who've flown west after giving their passion and spirit to aviation. We toast our party comrades who have fallen from the skies, and we're gently caught by God's own hands to be with him on high. To dwell among the soaring clouds they have known so well before, from victory roll to tail chase at heaven's very door. And as we fly among them there, we're sure to hear their plea. Take care, my friend. Watch your six and do one more for me. A toast to all of our comrades, prisoners of war, missing in action, living or dead, whatever they and their duty, whatever their war, whatever their uniform. Bless them all. So, ladies and gentlemen, the American Eagles are grateful to have performed for Warbirds over Wanaka, to salute the organisers like Ed Taylor, Scott McKenzie, the narrators, Jim Hickey, Ferg, myself, and the entire staff and volunteers of Wanaka Warbirds. The American Eagles present their fan break as a salute to the Warbirds over Wanaka Airshow spectators, pilots, and organisers.
Wait, you need to speak. It's a lot of things.
Thank you. nice there. And the T6 Harbour. So there you go, there's a bit more pedigree. But these are big, noisy animals and they're great to watch. Great way to climb so they keep themselves close to the ground line.
We were talking earlier, Jimmy, about de Havilland and the beautiful aircraft and how they would fly well. Well, I reckon North American made some of the most innovative aircraft, without a doubt. And we're seeing two here today with the T-28 Trojans. The Patriots, ladies and gentlemen.
They are the stars of the show.
Hi. All right, I'll come. Right, bye.
Meantime, high out there, 2 o'clock.
Where?
Trojans coming in for their first
all right.
one.
All right, I'll be there shortly.
Led by Brownie, Dave Brown, who we've seen already today on the strike mast, and also leading the T6, the Warbirds, Roaring 40s. And Peter Bors flying his own T-28, number 2, in exactly the same livery he would have flown in the 1950s when it was built. It's a Navy carrier-capable aeroplane with a thumping big radial engine, 9cylinder.
The T-28 Trojan was originally designed as a trainer bulldog. It was successfully employed as a counterinsurgency aircraft primarily during the Vietnam War.
The red one had a lot of money spent on it. It was a T-28G, designed by Brian Warbirds, built in 1954. What's been done to it was virtually stripped right down to its last level, rebuilt. Heavier, stronger airframe. They've changed the engine. Traditionally, the T-28 has a right cyclone, and it's still at the back around 1300 horsepower. This red one is now got a Pratt Whitney twin Wasp 14-cylinder horsepower around 1450, which is very similar to what the P3 rated is. So Pratt Whitney replaced the right cyclone in the red and white aircraft, but the other one, the grey one, the Peters, is pretty much stock standard. And I have a bit of a joke because each cylinder is 3.3 litre. Roomy cockpit. Number 2 sits behind number 1. You've got great visibility. The whole thing rattles and vibrates as you put the fly more power on to take off.
Another thing too, Jimmy, this is where they were transitioning into the nose wheel aircraft, so a lot easier on the ground than the big powerful tail draggers.
I mean, and occasionally how big they are, you've got to leave the flaps down when you park because you can't climb up on the wings. So the 2 spring-loaded steps get up on the wing and then one door to climb from the fuselage into the cockpit. A great rate of climb, of course, around climbing T-51 up to 10,000 feet. Cruises have got 190 knots, maximum speed, display, lots of noise, once again, wonderful red evening when he was flying. He was asked for a quote and he said, awesome machine to fly, punch,
Believe it or not, one of the later variants of these was like home turbine powered at the time on Easy Air Force. Got gas turbine in them, but they've long since been retired.
Testament to old Brownie, you know, the vampire couldn't make it, of course, to bring this in here. So Brownie makes it to a ship. We have the original Origin here for Lunty, strike master. So Brownie steps up and wants a schedule to do that. Leads the Warbirds T6 Roaring 40s team. And at the last minute, the Trojans was in trouble. Brownie tipped up. You know, he was too shit.
nice big power panel sander stroke system on the end of each wing. And magnificent originality of the military airplane called Remember my father saying the Americans make great cockpits for airplanes, they're always very roomy. The P-40 Kitty Hawk, very roomy when you get out of the Tiger Hawk, of course, you've got a big man, shoot himself into that, getting into the hard way, well, gosh, turning around here. When you go back in the Spitfire, oh gosh, you gotta go here, shoot one in, very tight grip. It's always been the case too when you look at the Boeings and the Airbuses, which are all beautifully and ergonomic, and then you go to something like a BAE 146, where you've got to have about 50 hands to try and nothing's in the right place. Typically English. The Havilland Dominies like that with the handbrake system on it. The Chipmunks like that as well with the handbrake system on it. So just the other day when I was flying around with John Lamont, you know, just doing a simple thing like a touch and go, there's a lot going on. Wasn't just because John was there either.
You have to be careful using the term chippy, buddy, because you may recall that the opposition Labour Party is their name's chippy. Of course, the division on the populace here, it's spread the chippy to what's going on. Most of them be probably thinking the other way.
X6 is coming in from my right, folks.
fireball.